years, they must buy new pens. They must. It's capitalism. They don't care. It's socialism that will say a politician does not be comfortable more than citizen. No. Why are you comfortable? In Sweden, they rent 1-bedroom apartment for their legislators. 1 bedroom. If you are not staying within the locality, travel by yourself and you must come to the parliament. You dare not. They will not pay you. Can you stop Akpado's salary? Who are you? What's statutory salary? Can you stop any of them? They never hold them salary. No police are whole salary, police whole salary. It is a system and it must crumble. And we are the only ones that can take it down. And what we need to do is very simple. It's hard work, but it is simple. When we all work together. There must be aggressive education on the need for a socialist system. Aggressive. Very aggressive. And we must organize with all at all levels. Even while we are calling out NLC, why I want to do a program, we send the invitation and why we are not here. I'm sending come and sit down shamelessly here while we are organizing. And together with the NAS and all that, there is no society beyond change. No Nigerians should give up. It is the fight that the Ghanaian and the life fought. As some of the things that we are enjoying today. What will have been of our society if Ghanaian, Fela and others did not stand up and fight for us? What have been our society if some people did not stand against colonization? The revolution is now. What did I say, comrades? The revolution is now. As we are fighting that fight, we are processing the revolution. And finally, we will get it perfectly. When we change this irresponsible system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that powerful words. Like we, the left activist revolutionaries, we have a whole lot of work to do because we are in a season of chronic ideological degeneration amongst our youth and amongst our people. And so there's a need for us to replace rascality with radicalism. Because what is happening now, most especially the NAS, they are just being rascal. They've forgotten the ideological facts. I was with a newspaper of NAS when they protested against the SAP struggle, anti-SAP struggle, and how NAS wrote a statement saying why they opposed the transition program. You know, that was when NAS was NAS. But now, they are nowhere to be found. Some of them are doing Agbero and some other things. So let's move on to our next contribution. I think we have contribution 2 minutes. If you want to contribute, you can just signify by raising your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's take that first one.
Good afternoon all. I'm Ayindeolawale, the Deputy Chairman, Lagos State African Action Congress, AAC. I think I want to sincerely appreciate the speakers. They've done justice to the topic of today. We can only add to their voice. I think Nigerians need to go the way of educating our people. We have lost the history. It's not about being. I was very happy that nothing happened at the yesterday. I was very happy that nothing happened there. Because people need to understand where they are coming from, the history, the events that make such 2020 October happened. Many are lost. They don't understand what actually happened. So we need to go in the way of educating people, organizing ourselves. And I want to encourage our community to talk about from that educating aspect. You are still in school. Now, the Gen Z, as they call themselves now, they are lost in their thoughts. If care is not taken, the next 10 years, you won't find our country again. You won't find it. You will make money, yes. The capitalists open rooms for you to make money, but you still bring the money back to the system. You will now ask yourself, where is the money? Now, what we need to do as people of Nigeria is to ask questions now. And people that have been part of the struggle from the early 90s, 80s should be bold enough to tell us what Nigeria system is made of and what we need to understand. So on this note, more of this program, if possible, we all should go back to our community. Especially Lagos is dead. A lot of people is confused, don't even know what to do again. Just because of us they have our mind with us. That's why you can sit inside this room and be discussing issues that is affecting more than 200 millions of Nigeria. But there is hope that we can still rescue our them. What are they doing there? By the time you know it now, see what happened to Mohbad. Now the case has been scattered, put upside down, sideways. You don't even understand what's happening again. But when they started, you think they really want to demand justice for the guy. Do you understand? They turned it to jamboree. So people have cash out, so people have become millionaires through that process. And I was listening to one of our comments the other time. That people make money through so I said, yes. People find loopholes and grab what they need to grab. Where's the justice from right now? Gone! Dead, buried. Nothing will happen again. So we need to keep educating EndSARS. You have a lot of work to do. I was reading this book now. I'm still the first paragraph. Fella said something there. I was just like, He said he thought he was fighting the government, not knowing that it has never even waka. He now said, when government throw am from up, because they look down and say, see where they go, now rubies, full ground, bottle, nay, everything. Say, if I land here, I will die. Immediately he landed on that, he died. I'm still in Nigeria. I'm not that. Say, he come round, go meet that will end up with people shouting Yoruba Nation now. Just listen go. Fella come round, go meet one Babala will say, I don't be fight government just like this. So please give me bulletproof. Give me bulletproof. Now they give Fella bulletproof. Fella said, as a wise person, full of wisdom, he said, I need to test this bulletproof. Get me a goat. Come see, go and carry and go follow more. When he gets to their friend. Now they carry gun. They tear. If you don't carry local bullets, come he says that the other time on platform. Local bullet, they shoot the goat. Shoot the goat, bam! The goat no die. I like one say, no be local bullet, the Nigerian government they use. Why go follow more? Go test that. Now he carry, he said go follow more. He say as they tear the goat, his neck come out. So now, we should not be divided with issues of dividers, tribalism, religious. No. The ruling class will keep having their way. Where are the Yoruba nations now? Where are they? The Nigerian system is still there. Please, organizers, we need more from schools. From primary school, we need to do something that people need to understand the history of this country. The reason why America is that people understand their history there. We don't understand our history here. We don't even know. Some of us say, so let me join them and we'll all go. No. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Somi. Number 2.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I would like to make an apology. My name is Commander Debayo. I'm representing MOP Movement for the People. And my apology goes with, we were supposed to be here in numbers, but due to, we have another program here today, we couldn't make it, so I had to come around and be able to represent the organization. So, regarding what the speakers have said, I really applaud what has been said earlier, and for me, I don't really have much to say, just add to what has already been said. And for us, we comrades, we try to put more of our time and resources and energy, in able to change what is happening in this country. But and also, we need to understand things, deeply, for us to know the depth of what we are facing in this country. And for me, I used to try to make an analogy of, we try to understand the differences between, essence and phenomenon. The reason why we are here, the reason why the majority of us came here is just to talk about, the EndSARS and stuff like that, which is part of the phenomenon of what capitalism is creating, to us. And there are various, phenomenal things, happening on a capitalist system. The issue of, what's it called, unilag, increase in school fees, the issue of, people being demolished or people being taken away, so all type of phenomenon, is happening, and we keep putting our energy to fight it. And I understand that, in all these struggles, we have different reasons to be there, and we need to be there because we can use that, as a platform to be able to educate people that this is not where it ends, or this is just the beginning, or this is just a fraction of the symptoms of what the system is telling you to do, or the system wants to take away from you. With the essence of capitalism, is to, what I call it, the simplest way I can able to put it is to get the surplus value, into the hands of the few. And this few will always do anything necessary, anything possible, to protect that interest. Anything necessary to protect that interest. So on the basis of education, people need to understand that at this material point in time, this so-called elite does not need human resources, to able to get whatever they want to need. As I used to give people an analogy of how these people think. During probably in 2006 or 2007, when technology was able to move into banking. Back in those days, when you see bankers, they put on their suits, they put on their, maybe those driving under Allah or under Baby Boy back then, they feel like comfortable and they can make money. When capitalism came into play, and we started having, ATMs and stuff like that, the people at the top, didn't care about those welfare of their workers. They had to let go and bring, ATM. That reduced, the percentage of human resources needed in the banking sector. So over time, how I call it, technological advancement moved into online banking, and stuff like that. So if you go to the bank today, a lot of people are being chased off because capitalism always protects its interests. So on the issue of school itself, people need to understand that even the free education we had in this country, it wasn't that maybe the government gave it to us. It was a necessity because they realized that they needed human resources, to develop the colonial economy immediately after the British left. That's why they gave education to us for them to get the resources. But now they don't need it. Human resources are able to develop to the extent that we've moved into creating advanced machines, advanced technological, scientific inventions. And now, it is time, for humanity to be enjoying, the how do I call it, the thousands, or let me say thousands of years of human resources being developed into machines. It's now for us to be able to put the machines to work for our own benefit and people to start creating or changing the dynamics of how we work today. As of today, people don't need to be working 9 to 5 anymore, with how we're able to develop our skills. But as of today now, the so-called capitalists now are now using, how I call it, machines to replace human, resources. That's why in our schools today, this education doesn't mean any shit to these people. Because it's realized that they don't need human resources anymore. And when you even go to our institutions, you kind of teach things they teach them in our schools. You just be like, all these things are absolute. We are not living in in how I call it 1960 or 1980, all those things, because they just want to just give you a certificate and all those things. I want people to even need to understand that the middle class in this country try to create anything, how I call it, paper, to buy us into it, and we believe in it. We believe in the justice system. We believe in the codified books that they use for us. And whenever we try to use that as a basis to tackle this, they realize that these people are just using it to just waste our time. We can see in the judicial case within the presidential thing, how they were using the old papers to fight among themselves. And still yet, it's an eye opener that still doesn't care. So for me, like I said, and like what corporate people said earlier, it's still buttressed down to how we can be able to put our mass movement. And when we're talking about the struggle, for our people, for the struggle and liberation, again, I even bringing another set of people coming into power. When we look at the French Revolution, it was about just killing, the guillotine, cutting off the head of the people and stuff like that, taking away the brutalist load. But over time, the new, the bourgeoisie class came into power, and people feel like at least we have another set of power. We don't have kings having so much power anymore. Now we have people into power. But they didn't change the character of the system, the character of the exploitative system, which put power in the hands of the few. So as of today, even though Nigerians come today, we take away the old religion out of this country, change the new revolution. If we don't change the idea, the dominant ideology of the day that binds people together, we haven't really fulfilled anything. We're just a step forward, but not, not really take away the oppressive system that we find in our country. So for us, it is time for us to be able to add our own contribution to the scientific way of fighting, oppression, and when we talk about, ways of fighting, we don't want us to be dogmatic about it. As of today, someone was making reference about the labor union and stuff like that, As of today, to itself, Nigeria is not an industrialized country. And, and when we check the percentage of the workforce in this country, the old industrial base is not even up to 25%. So, we might have, a tangible number in which we can be able to influence. But we need to look into another different scientific approach, able for us to look towards the struggle of the people. Because everybody has to find their own texts, everybody has to find their own, daily realities, observe it, put it into the struggle so others too can learn. So for us, where we find ourselves in the informal sector, runs our own economy, what have we been able to do to be able to unionize these people? To be able to bring these people on our own side. So if we can't go to the market to make these people, at least in our streets, we can be able to organize these people. This is another aspect of unionizing. It might not be another, going to our workplace or all those things, because the dominant ideologies are able to influence those places. Are able to win people over, and we've seen over time from the military era down to this era how this people was able to, to create an ideological, overhaul, of the old labor, the labor settings. I attended a program not too long ago when one of our senior comments were giving an analogy of what happened in the past. Like just only one union. When there was the Michelin company that was producing tire, didn't accept their workers to unionize. The labor movement only did one thing. They called the union in the dockyard that any product of the Michelin company coming and going out of this country must not be attended to. When they realized that they were losing a lot of things and most of their products were on the sea, they realized that they had to come back, and apologize like, okay, we will allow our workers to unionize. So I really have a small time. To me, in conclusion, I feel like what we should need to be doing is how we can be able to bind among ourselves the whole left movement, coming together, enable for us to have a bare minimum of what we want to attain, a bare minimum of what we want to achieve. So through that we can be able to show to the people that this is what we're able to achieve. We're able to fight, the contradictions and the necessities of human condition. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Before we go on to the next person, Our student comrade Temitope is about to take a leave. We thank you very much for your time, and we also thank you for the powerful lead-up. We are really happy for that, and we hope that we continue to see you struggle as you proceed. Thank you very much. Then we want to the third person.
Good morning, comrades. Isoleto. Aluta continua. All protocol are well duly observed. I am Toyin Oladipo. My own take on this, I really appreciate the speaker so far. My own take on it is, let me first of all take it from the educational aspect. In fact, it has been so terrible. I don't know if we always correct on some page on Facebook whereby people do give people money and stuff. There was a woman I met day before yesterday. No, I met her last week and I met her yesterday also online on Facebook. The woman studied in LASU and graduated with accounting edu. A 40-years-old woman looking like a 70-years-old woman, working in Lagos Island, helping people to carry pepper, helping people to carry some stuff. So there was a lady that helped her. Imagine yesterday I saw the woman bringing out her certificate and education student. I was like, oh my God. And this is where we are also coming from. This is the value we are suffering ourselves for. Bowing down for a lecturer. In fact, we will not be able to, we are not even able to say anything. In fact. So I was like, this is Lagos State University certificate. This is the certificate. In fact, go to the car will be God of mercy. You understand? So they have bastardized the educational aspect based on their own personality, what they want to get, and they are trying as much as possible to just end education, like make the education useful for them only and not useful for the poor masses. I've been to one primary school of recent, like just my TP, just as Modupe was an MC. Primary school of that days, they used to have two teachers. I think one will be taking mathematics, the other will be taking English, and they will join hands together to build the children's cognitive. I think, but getting there to do my teaching practice, I was even the one helping those teachers out. Like only one teacher teaching all the subject. I was the only one helping the teacher. So the education aspect, the only place you can enjoy the education, just enjoy little from the education is taking children to private school. Why we have the public school and the government refuse to fund the education? So they are not funding the education. LASU, for instance, LASU supposed to have hostel on campus. Students are suffering for hostel. Getting to one hostel, pay agent and agreement stuffs. Agents are collecting 160,000 from you, and finally you now know that it's only 100,000 the landlords are collecting. They'll write receipts at the end of the day, receipt of 40,000 for you after paying 160,000, and they forget to build infrastructure, hostel for the students. It's very painful. I was coming on my way this morning, I met with a soldier man. He even said that I think he's one of the good because he was helping me to move my clothes. Honorable So I now threw a question to him that I'm going to a program, and a program is just a symposium to remember all the heroes that died during the EndSARS protests. And the man told me, wow, and I threw a question to him that, what has Nigeria done to do soldiers? As far as, even when we know that there are some that was captured, I think they released some online And what have Nigeria done to the soldiers? The man just said that one is more than what he can answer. So now we're moving. We saw a policeman trying to collect. Money, but because he saw the soldier, he couldn't collect money that if he already there, say, so what I just want to emphasize on that is, yes, the policeman, yes, the soldier man told me that the police people are collecting money more than the soldiers. Yes, they are earning money more than the soldier, and they still patronize the public boss to collect money from them. So what I want to emphasize is the country is failed already. You see, the situation whereby we are saying we should educate, go to area and educate is a very important policy. But the philosophers among us need to sit down and realize another policy that can bring about, because this is the system now is not getting to, just like if revolution wants to come in, as I learned from Comrade Soweto, that if revolution wants to come in, the past system must have been choken, must have choked people before the new thing, because in Unilag and Lasso, you see that when it gets to the top of when it's choked, that people did not even they cannot end this thing again. That was when are we going to sit down and think about new policy? What has happened to the soldiers? Why can't they bring them to justice? And the EndSARS we're talking about, is it end now? Is it end? Is police brutality end? We still continue. Do you understand? So we need another system. And during the EndSARS protest, this is the final. And during the EndSARS protest, I remember there was one governmental official that was on suit. Even the camera caught his face. He was trying to move the hoodlums, trying to park hoodlums in his jeep. Then the camera caught his face. Have they brought this person to justice? The country is failed. I saw something. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Orike. Now we want to the first person.
I'm glad to be among the great minds here. And so my own opinion is that I think the educational aspect, we need to sensitize more people. And we will get tired, because actually it gets to something that I got tired of sensitizing, because if you are there, you'll be like, you are starting down. We are surviving, we are good to do. That's what we're to do. If you are advising that, okay, there's this particular organization that fights for human rights, they will like human rights. But should do some ceremony, they will like ceremony, I'm not human rights. So something like that. And we need to let them know about the history of this country. All this fallacy that it was now that's a way that fought for Nigeria in Nigeria independence, all that are fallacies. Because, and I got this when our blessed memory organized a symposium at Faculty of Social Science. There was a particular projector, the core history about Nigeria independence. He brought